Not surprising at this point, but still incredibly disappointing. Caitlin Clark officially done for the 2025 WNBA season, as she and the Fever announced on social media. The Fever and Clark saying that she tried to get back on the floor. It appears that she just ran out of time, not able to get enough confidence back in her body as the season wraps up and the playoffs are likely about to begin for Indiana. I mean, it's a gut punch that basically encompasses an entire season of them. The Fever have lost so many players to injury, but obviously none bigger than Clark. And there was such a wait for this second season after her magnificent rookie season. And then, the anticipation of her possibly coming back only for that not to happen takes a lot of air out of the room, obviously takes a lot of energy out of the fans, and is a devastating blow for not just the Fever and the WNBA, but the good news is her career is not over. But it's a tough blow when it all comes crashing down like that. And ever since Stephanie White's presser the other day, where she talked about how Clark had not taken contact practice yet, and anything like that, I sort of had read the writing on the wall. I do not subscribe, by the way, to the conspiracies that they were dragging everybody along for the sake of views and ticket sales. I do not think that's the case. All right, so just let me put that out there. I don't believe that. You can yell at me and say I'm an idiot and a moron, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that. What I do believe is this could have been handled better in the midst of it, of course, especially the ankle. Because the ankle was leaked, and then they put out that BS press release that said, well, there's no way to know if the timeline was delayed because there is no timeline, treating everybody like idiots. And then since then, when they're so vague and almost evasive in the questions, it leads to suspicion. But what I believe happened here is that Caitlin Clark, when she suffered that latest setback, the groin, the after the quad, and then the groin, and then it was the other groin, she knew, you can see it on her face before All-Star Weekend, that was not good, that she was going to miss time and she was going to have to rehab again. I thought that was about All-Star Weekend and the realization that the rehab she had just done was all for naught, and the pressure that she feels as the star and the magnitude of star that she is. Nonetheless, she knew she had a long road ahead of her. And then that road hit a roadblock when she hurt her ankle, bone bruise, right? Not even just a sprain or a twist, but a bone bruise, which can take a while to heal, which Stephanie White admitted in a radio interview delayed her progress. And when we didn't get that update and then the same statements were read, it leads to suspicion and speculation. But there's never a perfect situation. And now there is clarity, at least, even if it's not the resolution or conclusion that we wanted. This is the statement from Amber Cox, the GM. Caitlin has worked so hard throughout this time, doing everything possible to recover and return to the court, but ultimately time is not on our side. While we continue working with Caitlin and provide her with every resource we have available, there is not enough time left in our season for her to safely return, and her long-term health and well-being remains our top priority. We are looking forward to having her back at full strength to start the 2026 season, which is a long ways away. That's part of the problem. It is a long ways away. And this is what Caitlin wrote. I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling. I want to thank everyone who had my back through all the uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. The way fans continue to show up for me and the Fever brought me so much joy and important perspective. I'm so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger through the adversity this year. Now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in the playoffs. And then there was a series of photos that Caitlin shared. I mean, this one more indicative of her season than anything else. And obviously she'll be there to support her teammates as their quest continues until they are officially eliminated from the playoffs. She got a bunch of messages of support, but this is a big one. LeBron James, minor setback for a major comeback. Rest up, get healthy, and be you. So, I mean, that's, as simple as it gets. Michael Jordan missed the majority of his second season. Injuries happen. I'm not sure I've seen an injury play out exactly like this, but I do believe there was, the timeline of the season and the timeline of her recovery, and it happened like this, you know, with the setback to the ankle. And I do believe she was trying to work to get back. So what are they going to tell her? No, she's out for the season when there's a chance for her to get back until they mutually realized there wasn't, or it wasn't going to happen. I just wish there was better communication in between, and especially again with that ankle injury. Regardless, the Fever 2026 season, the lockout's going to, not the lockout, but the CBA negotiations and a potential lockout are in between. I do believe that will eventually get resolved. And then there was the wait between 2024 and 2025, which felt endless. And now the clock started on that already. So this season did not go how Caitlin Clark wanted it to go. It certainly didn't go how her fans wanted it to go. It certainly didn't go how I'm sure the league wanted it to go, the Fever wanted it to go. Basically, anybody wanted it to go. And in the chapter of a book, in a career, it's a small thing. In the immediacy, it's devastating. And I think most had hit the acceptance phase at this point in time, myself included, in regards to this. Let's be honest. Caitlin Clark is good for everybody's business. And bottom line, it's why she's still the topic of conversation, even when she's missed this much time. But she's going to be missing more time. We'll see if she winds up playing at all in the offseason this year. You have to give a little bit more credence to that possibility, considering, of course, that's up to her. And then the Fever season does continue. They've got the Chicago Sky, of course, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, both missing basically every Sky, or they weren't on the floor together except for the opening game of the season. Angels suspended for that game. The Fever still likely to make it into the playoffs. And I do continue to credit their resilience and what they've put up with and what they're capable of. And they will go down swinging when they do eventually go down, because I just don't think they have the talent to stay up at this point. But I mean, Caitlin Clark said it, disappointed is not a big enough word. And I feel it's fair to say that, for any right-minded person, that's the word on everybody's mind, getting the news that CC's season is indeed done.